The Miami Dolphins began the Adam Gase era taking on the Seattle Seahawks, and who other than the Seattle Seahawks in CenturyLink Field, and the Seahawks pumped up, not wanting to disappoint their home crowd. Let's begin. Ryan Tannehill single back, drops back on first down, and here comes the rush as Cliff Averill beats Brandon Albert, moves right past him and gets what he wants. Now, Russell Wilson's first possession with 8 minutes to go in the first. Drops back to throw, going to lob it up, but there is his former teammate, Byron Maxwell. That pass was intended for him, going for Jermaine Kearse, the hero of the 2014 NFC Championship game. Now here, first down and 10, going deep, and here is Ryan Tannehill's very own Colin Kaepernick impression, going for Richard Sherman, and you do not want to throw to his side here, as the Seahawks have very good field position now, as Wilson throwing in wide open is Jimmy Graham. How can you leave a 6'7" man wide open? Must have had the flu or something. Play action now. Tannehill going to throw for Landry, and he has a need for speed inside the 30 and down inside the 15-yard line to the 10 as Cam Chancellor brings him down. Butterfingers by the Seahawks defense, and here is Jordan Cameron all alone. Blown coverage by the Seahawks, and Tannehill finds him wide open in the end zone like a man in a Burger King drive-thru. Nobody goes there, and now Wilson with the ball back goes down. It is Mario Williams trying to replace Olivier Vernon, and he's doing a pretty good job early on. One sack, a big game from the defensive line here in this game, as they had 4 total sacks on Russell Wilson, along with many hurries, as Wilson finds Jermaine Kearse down to the 42-yard line. Now they'll run, and you know the Seahawks always will. Thomas Rawls replacing Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn, who is Rawls, with a 20-yard scamper down to the 40-yard line. Rawls with a decent game, 22 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. But another man with a big day. How about Doug Baldwin going 52 yards to the house? A big game for him, as he had 5 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown as the Seahawks take a 2-possession lead. Now Tannehill, it's not over until they say it's over here in the second quarter. He finds Devontae Parker over the middle, and then later on in the drive, they'll give it to Kenneth Dixon, the newly signed man from Baltimore, down to the 14-yard line. Now to cap it all off, it's Landry in the circus. No more football for Landry, as after this, the Harlem Globetrotters gave him a contract as he shows his best Mr. Miyagi impersonation here. From the 46, now Wilson goes down. It's a combination of Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh in there for the duo rush on Russell Wilson. Now first and goal, Lamar Jackson to the end zone. It's actually Ryan Tannehill. I think I fooled you there. Same person, right, as Tannehill gets in the end zone, giving the Miami Dolphins the lead over the Seahawks. But Russell Wilson has the most fourth quarter game-winning drives in NFL history, and here he is. Jimmy Graham down to the 26-yard line, and they're already near the red zone as Wilson steps up, and he's going to flip this one to Doug Baldwin inside the 5-yard line and down to the 3 as Wilson uses his legs in open field. Big game for Russ today. 21 of 31, 316 and a touchdown as he goes down. The sacks were an issue, and it's Michael Pierce up the middle from the Baltimore practice squad to get in there and bring down Russell Wilson. So now they'll tack on a field goal to a tie ball game, and here's Thomas Rawls with an infinite amount of space between the tackles, and he will pick up a pretty solid gain there, and that's pretty much all you'll see from Thomas Rawls today as Wilson takes a shot for Jermaine Kearse down to the 11-yard line, but there's a flag on the play, and this one will pretty much stand. And now Stephen Hauschka has to kick the field goal somehow, some way. And the Seahawks will take the lead here with 3:13 remaining. Now Tannehill, this is his last chance. Going for Foster on the screen. Foster into open space, and he will drag Bobby Wagner down to the 25-yard line. And Arian Foster has to feel good after that one. Not really a receiver, but he did pretty good, 4 for 87. And once again, because of Arian Foster, it is a tie ball game in a pretty much touchdown-less fourth quarter here. 23-23 all. And here is Jimmy Graham again, beating Kiko Alonso. And with 56 seconds left, it is not looking good for the Dolphins. 25 seconds left, and it is CJ Procise answering with the spin move. And CJ Procise will attempt to end this game here as Russell Wilson and the Seahawks get it done, beating the Dolphins at home in a nail-biter that came down to the wire. CJ Procise, the rookie from Notre Dame, getting it done. And here are some stats from the game. Tannehill having a pretty interesting game overall, but it was Thomas Rawls, the Seattle Seahawks, who beat us down today. They were just more physical than us, and we're not at the point where we can actually beat them yet. And we're going to work on it, you know? In real life, this one pretty much came down to the wire. It was not high scoring at all. It was a defensive battle overall across the board. But overall, in the end, it seems like this was just Seattle's game to begin with, even though it was close. I never felt like the Dolphins were going to make a push to win the football game. There were plenty of tackles for a loss, and this was, you know, a game of sacks. No sacks for Seattle, actually 2 sacks for Seattle, I lied. But overall, this was a pretty close game, and next week, we're going to have to see how we do against the Patriots. The Patriots will have Tom Brady. I didn't want to move his suspension into the real world, so it is going to be Brady, who they just lost to the Arizona Cardinals, so that's a pretty tough loss for them. And overall, it's going to be a little bit interesting. It's our first division matchup of the year, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Like for this more of this format, and I will see y'all later.